I was like,
oh
and
my
she's
gosh.
like, it's been 2 months.
Hey, Facebook audience, here's a quick, hey, how's it going, everyone? We're doing the quick, little soft open here before we do the official.
The flaccid open.
The soft open before we hit the show.
Flaccid.
You guys, and then eventually when I post this on YouTube, you guys get the little exclusive, 3-4 minutes of us dicking around, figuratively and or
unerect start.
the unerect. Oh my God. Then our Twitch audience, I don't know if anyone will be watching, but yeah. We're starting to start the show a little bit earlier and earlier, a couple of minutes early, so allow people to germane and she's all right, she's all right, that girl's all right with me, yeah, shit that we can do for our live audience here that will not go on to the audio version of the podcast because when I eventually, Mr. Sam Z, I met someone over the weekend at a wedding. It was the guy who I tapped the table again. The guy who did the Matt in the Man Cave podcast with Lamar.
Yeah.
He wants to work on our show.
Is the show that much fun that he wants to jump in now?
Apparently, or either that or he just really wants to get back into podcasting. So I told him
he had his own.
He doesn't anymore. I mean, he no longer has a man cave to be Matt in. So he. I told him.
Yeah, it's fun.
I told him, I already have an executive producer, but I'm like, if he can help us with the iTunes, like get me sorted, find a pod host and all that stuff. I'm like, he can help with the show. I told him the pay is the same I pay you guys, nothing, whole lot of nothing. So I may have found someone to help, maybe with the show. I don't know. I wanted to discuss with my team here.
Well, it's something that I've done myself. So it's just a pain in the ass for me.
I know, and then also you're a new father too, so you're kind of busy most of the time.
But really, you can spot it. You can find it yourself if you want to keep it in house. If you want to incorporate the help of other geeks, I am more for it.
But I'm okay. How can I say this bluntly?
Luddite.
I'm a Luddite.
Yeah.
I'm a moron. As I explained last week, is when I couldn't figure out how to convert MPG. I don't even know what it is. That's how much of a Luddite I am. I don't even know how to convert that video to put it on YouTube.
I've seen people with less technical savviness make it happen. So, but no, absolutely, he's got experience.
He's got it. That's what I'm saying. Bring on some. He was super excited, but he was also super drunk. So.
Then let's hope he remembers it, and if he doesn't, then
I think he might remember. We'll see. We exchanged numbers, and then we did the whole Facebook friend thing.
The legendary Tim Conway Jr. just walked by the street.
Tim Conway Jr. walked by.
It would have been cool to see him. I get starstruck easy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's pretty awesome.
Incredibly nice man.
Let me see here.
Can I get one of those mic things? Oh.
Yeah, sure.
One in
There's one right in front of him. So
the microphone condom.
the microphone. So, all right. I don't think there's anyone on Twitch. We do have a few people watching on Facebook Live. So our Facebook friends, thank you so much for chiming in.
Make it happen in your pants.
We appreciate it. And if you could be so kind to share the video as you're watching it, or if you're watching this later on, because we do have lots of people who watch this after the fact, and I appreciate all of you as well. I appreciate everyone who watches these ridiculous videos. So we're about to start the show in a few seconds, and we're about to hit the actual audio open for the podcast.
Shh. Quiet.
Live from the secret podcast studios, deep in the heart of a secret valley. Valley? Did I say valley? It's Dre's Geek Philosophy. Yay! With your host, me, Dre Cervantes. As usual, I am flanked by Judgmental Nerd. I screwed up the first nickname already.
Flank.
Judgmental Nerd. Pete Molini, go ahead. Move it into your wave. And we have excessively long executive producer. Yes. I've accepted that as part of your nickname as he jetés by. Sam Zia.
Hello.
And our guest tonight. He was kind of on before, but we did it over the phone and it didn't quite work.
Experiments there.
I'm still trying to figure this out, clearly. Yeah, we're only in the month 3. This is month 3 of our journey. We're about to conclude our 3rd month of doing this.
Really?
Yeah, right?
It feels longer.
It feels longer. I was about to start, phrasing. It feels longer, phrasing. Thank you, sir. We have one of my best friends in the world. a person who is a certified crazy person, also a certified asshole. But you know it. Please don't try to deny it. You can come over here and wave to the camera. We have Jai Polidore.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
He's an aspiring stand-up comic, and I wanted to bring him on today because our main topic tonight, which we will hit eventually, we're going to be talking about Dave Chappelle. Dave had his brand new Netflix specials drop last week, and Dave is Dave, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about many of the things about Mr. Chappelle, some of the stuff he said that has riled some feathers because it's been 10 years since Dave has put out any content into the world, and maybe the world is a little bit different.
He actually dropped two separate things, descending testicles.
Like descending testicles. He just dropped those. And later on, I don't know if people know or have done research, he is going to drop a third one. So apparently he's going to
got one to spare.
He's going to complete the full tea bag with a phallical drop of a brand new material, because the two specials, one was 2015. Oh no. One was 2015, one was 2016. I didn't realize it because I remember someone said, "Why didn't he talk about Trump?" I'm like, because he did these before Trump was a thing. But we will talk about that in a minute. I want to talk about excessively long executive producer Sam Zia. Yeah. He sent me an article on the internets.
Yes, I did.
Because we're trying to figure out, and apparently the Gestapo, GameStop, just like Nintendo, just like the places I have worked, are always going to be a constant topic of our show. And it turns out that the old GameStop didn't do so well during the holidays. Apparently, they took it in the junk. They took the Shoryuken right in the nuts, and they had one of their worst fourth quarters.
Fail stop.
And I know executive producer Sam Zia would want our show to take the credit for that.
Of course, you have to take credit.
We want to take the credit for
you bought down GameStop.
We kneecapped GameStop.
When all is said and done, everybody's going to point at your finger pushing that first domino to make all this happen.
That first domino, I pushed the Kotaku article domino down everyone's throats to help. But yeah, it looks like they're going to be closing a percentage of stores coming up. But a lot of people are trying to attribute that to, it was because of the circle of life. People were attributing it to digital gaming being prevalent. And I say no.
Why do you say no? Because it stands to reason that digital games becoming more popular, that it would start hacking into the same.
It is being more prevalent. But you don't hear these problems from other retail. You don't hear these problems from Amazon, who sells physical copies. Amazon had a great fourth quarter. Your Best Buys and your Walmarts and your Targets are still selling physical copies of games left and right. Because as I argue, the majority of your gamers are still kind of our age, and mid to late 30s. And we're stubborn and we're dumb. We want our physical games. I don't trust hard drives. I don't trust the cloud. I am Hans Moleman. I yell at the cloud.
What if I get hacked? What if I become a celebrity and then I get hacked and all my saves are gone?
Yeah, you definitely don't want your saves to get out. I mean, I know WWE Diva Page doesn't want any of her saves to get out on the internet.
That would be tragic.
that would be quite tragic for her. If anything from her internet was. That was for my friend Kiet, because we didn't talk about Paige last week on the show.
Sorry,
and her no, did you not? Oh no, you sent me a text. We texted about the Paige scandal, but that is not our topic today. But yeah, GameStop. Well, Jai T. Polidore, you also actually, it's because of GameStop that you and I became friends. Well, we were frenemies at first. I wanted to kill you, but
several times. Several times.
But it is because of the Gestapo that you and I are friends.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts or feelings about this? I'm saying no. I say it's they're just a bad business, and they did not compete well with the other retailers. Did not have the same problem with the video games, a bunch of stuff. The PlayStation VR, Final Fantasy 15, Pokemon Sun and Moon, all this big stuff came out. GameStop didn't do well, but everyone else, according to all the research I was looking at, I'm like, everyone else did fine. Why would you think that the Gestapo would struggle?
Because they suck. And that's the short answer. The long answer is they, as a company, don't offer any incentives for anybody to go and shop at their stores. And that's if you take out the what's the word? The stigma that they have of having pushy salespeople.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to Best Buy, $30 gets you 20% off of every new game you buy for 2 fucking years.
Yep.
You go to Amazon, you get an Amazon Prime subscription, which gets you 20% off of every new game you buy, in addition to 2-day shipping and God knows whatever else incentives Prime has. You can go to Target and get you a Target card or a Cartwheel app and get whatever discounts those will get you. With GameStop, you get
10% off used games if you pay them $15 a year.
Which and
you get 10% extra on your trade-ins when you sell them your games that are worth $1, so you get $1.10 when they turn around and sell the game for $25.
And you'll be lucky if you get $1.10. You get $1.09. Cheapskate sons of bitches. Fuck GameStop.
No, they give you your 10%.
They can give me my 10%, motherfuckers.
They give the 10. I was there for 3 months this past year. They do give the 10%.
I was there 3 months ago. Those motherfuckers didn't give me my 10%.
Are you trying to say that they didn't give you your 10%?
I am.
Because you're black.
You know what? If I were any less of a Negro, I would totally use that as an excuse for the unjust way that I was treated. And that's even after I showed them the ad saying, motherfuckers, give me my extra 10%.
Racism. We're declaring racism. I brought that because it's obviously going to be a theme of the show because we're talking about Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Go back to your country.
And I joked about it on the GameStop episode that we did. Like, I was let go because I wasn't hood enough to work in Linwood.
Well, how many times when we were working there were you told that you were white?
All the time.
And you were not only told that you were white by our primarily Asian demographic, you had several white people who come in there and like, speak to you in their, colloquial white language. Hey, brother, how are you doing?
How you doing? Let me do my Dave Chappelle white guy voice.
They would talk to you like that because they thought you were one of them.
They thought I was their kin. Little did they know that yo soy Mexicano. Yo soy el Mexicano más gringo. I am the whitest Mexican. For those of you who don't speak Spanish. So, you don't speak Spanish.
He no coffee. He cafe ole.
No, I'm cafe latte. I'm coffee with cream. Lots of cream. I'm brown, but there's a lot of cream. Phrasing? Oh!
It's everywhere.
And that is why everyone watches Dre's Geek Philosophy. For the terrible sexual puns. Gross? Ew.
Definitely.
Terrible. Okay, and the corrections and the corrections and retractions department, I have to apologize for last week. When I rewatched the show last week, I was sitting here. I have my nice, awesome format, and I was so proud of myself because last week I wrote the format this week. I let out my inner Jon Stewart a little too hard when I went back and I rewatched it because I rewatched these to see how bad I do to try to improve. Because, that's the only way you can get better at this, is to watch yourself and cringe every time you do something stupid. As, Jai Polidore, aspiring stand-up comic, you go back and you watch your sets, and you go like, whoa, that joke didn't work. Ooh, that delivery was not good. Terrible. So I realized last week, I feel bad for anyone who was watching or rewatching. I kept doing my Jon Stewart impression where I was like circling. I was circling all the things. I was tapping the pen, thinking I was Jon Stewart, not realizing that every single little thing I was doing was being picked up by this mic and the phone mic. Good God. Every time it happened, I cringed. I was like, oh, fucking Dre. Oh, you moron. No, stop. Stop, please don't. Don't do it, Dre. Oh, I was so mad at myself. Right now, I stopped myself. Right now, I was about to cross out the GameStop topic as we're about to move on. I was like, nope, don't do it. In fact, I'm going to put away the pen.
Get to a highlighter. That way it's nice and silent.
No, it wouldn't be silent. You hear the scream.
How hard are you being on the highlighter?
No, but these microphones are sensitive, man. This is professional equipment for an unprofessional show.
It's the keys all over again. Right?
It's the keys. My hand is going to the keys right now. So something big that happened in the nerd world last week, which we're all kind of reacting to, is the DC Warner Brothers put out that new Justice League trailer. Ooh. And as we've expressed here on the show, both Pete and I were
Not fans of Zack Snyder.
Not fans of Zack Snyder, as I told excessively long executive producer Sam Zia, that I watched Batman Superman a second time because I wasn't sure what I watched the first time, and I had to make sure that was as bad as I thought it was, and it was, and then and Suicide Squad. I'm afraid to rewatch that movie because it's gonna be worse.
Yeah, probably is.
Did you watch either of those travesties, my friend Jai Polidore?
I did watch the debacle that was Batman v Superman, or whatever acronym you might call it.
BVS?
From that, I will stand by my initial Facebook post from yesteryear. Zack Snyder should only be allowed to direct fight scenes. If they ever do a live-action Dragon Ball, that's your fucking guy.
Yeah, because, on that point, 300, that was one long, prolonged fight scene.
One long fight scene.
And it was great.
Can you imagine if Zack Snyder had directed Rocky IV? It would have been even more epic than it already is.
How hard would it be to kill Apollo? Well, Apollo's blood would have been all over the ring.
And it would have been slow motion. Like,
dun, 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 dun. Oh!
Tap towel.
My God! You would have had to put JR in a DeLorean to go back and call that fight.
And that's how awesome it would have been. But the same thing with Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was serviceable. You had Will Smith, who's Will Smith, great actor. You had Margot Robbie, who's as decent an actor as she is hot. Yes. And
I can agree with that
you
statement.
had they even made Jai Courtney fucking, what's the word? Entertaining. Which is not words you usually associate with Jai Courtney, but he was.
Which one was he?
he was Boomerang.
Boomerang.
That was Boomerang?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
But then they did we don't have a fucking storyline ending, just Pillar of Light and a bitch doing the crazy voodoo dance.
I felt like that was them just trying to be like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
No.
They were trying and failing.
Soundtrack.
Yeah. They're trying too hard.
If you sell your movie based on the soundtrack, your movie sucks. Hollywood, stop doing that.
They trick people, man. They prey upon our feelings of music, the positive feelings that we get when we hear classic rock,
Radio
and we
is
feel
dead.
good.
Radio is dead. Okay? Stop selling your movies off the fucking soundtrack.
But so speaking of which, we got Justice League trailer.
Yeah.
I felt like there was some classic rock underneath that. There was some
there was some White Stripes.
Yeah, White Stripes.
And there was that Beatles cover. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a Beatles cover. That's right. I was trying to remember what the other one was, because at the beginning was the White Stripes, and then the freaking Beatles cover.
Well, the other one had a White Stripes song too, right?
Oh, really?
Seven Nation Army was in the.
Oh, really?
And this one was Button to Button.
Mm-hmm. But the trailer, I saw everyone was reacting to it. I didn't get a chance to watch because I was working a gig. I think it was Saturday when the trailer dropped, or I forget when. It was some point this weekend that the trailer dropped.
Saturday?
Yeah,
Saturday.
I didn't get a chance to watch it until maybe later in the evening. But I was seeing reaction from people. I sat down and I watched it, and I was like, okay. I was under the impression that they were going to use more than 3 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
50 maybe?
Yeah. What did you think, Pete?
Well, exactly right. Doesn't it look like the whole thing is going to take place at night?
Yeah.
Welcome to Zack Snyder's world of directing.
I was given the impression that there was going to be much more daylight scenes in this movie, where this is going to be nothing like Batman Superman.
Yeah, like the whole thing looked like it was going to take place at night. But it was just like when we initially saw Batman vs Superman, and we were like, there's some cool stuff that happened, but like. It looks like that's what this is too. Yeah,
there's going to be cool thing for nerds like us.
Mira came out. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Like I didn't expect that, and then
it's just going to be Easter egg, annoying thing. Yeah. Easter egg. Oh, cool. Like I'm sure. Like the inner nerd in me is like, if they show me Martian Manhunter, that'll be worth the price of admission because I'm a huge comic book geek.
But all that trailer showed me was like Aquaman seems cool.
Khal Drogo was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Jai, what did you think of the trailer? Or do you want to react to anything Pete said?
I thought Pete hit the fucking nail on the head. That movie's gonna suck. It's gonna suck hard.
I remember I saw your Facebook status update was quite appropriate. It's like the hype train conductors. Would you like your ticket on the hype train, Mr. Polidore?
I'll wait till the next trailer comes out when they show Superman.
Yeah.
Like,
you're gonna have to.
You have the parademons, so anybody who's read a comic book in the last, I don't know, fucking forever, knows that Darkseid's going to be the main villain. Now, I've also heard it's supposed to be his nephew. Not the fucking point.
Steppenwolf?
Yeah. But either way,
Rest.
you've got all of these people
Rest in peace.
who can't beat the main guy. So let's just stop fucking playing with the tip of my dick, put the whole thing in your mouth, and fucking give me what I came for. Just give me Superman.
I know, yeah, but they have to build to that, my friend. Obviously, any nerd worth half his salt is going to watch BVS and know, oh yeah, they're going to bring Superman back from the dead at some point. Yeah. Probably by the end of the Justice League movie, Superman will rise from the ground. And if that's a spoiler alert to any of you, then you've never read a comic book in your life.
Which was also a bad move. Why did they kill Superman? Because Zack Snyder's a fucking hack who should not be allowed behind a Polaroid, much less a fucking movie camera.
So tell me how you really feel about Zack Snyder.
300 was the last good thing he did.
I liked Watchmen.
But,
except for the exceptionally awkward sex scene, everything was okay.
But have you noticed with Watchmen, everybody's like, you either hate it or you love it. There's no in between. Yeah. Same with Sucker Punch. You hate it or you love it. There's no in between. Batman v Superman, everybody hated it.
Oh, there's people that love it.
I'm gonna set.
There are people who defend it.
This segment is going to be shot in Zack Snyder vision.
Is it turned off?
So what's your superpower? I'm rich.
That's awesome.
No, see, no, I believe the opposite. That is ridiculous.
That's awesome.
You reduce Batman to like, I'm a rich asshole.
Yes.
That's not Batman's motivation. Batman is awesome because he is like the ultimate human who has trained himself to the top to freaking reach the heights of the rest of them.
And he's only able to do that because he's rich.
No.
Broke motherfuckers trying to be Batman.
So you're telling me any rich man could become Batman?
Any stupid rich man can become Batman. Bill Gates can become Batman.
No, he couldn't.
If Bill Gates wanted right now...
Bill Gates is not depressed enough or have enough tragedy in his life to become Batman.
But that's how much money
No, that's Batman. Batman. Pete, please, as a decorated comic book veteran, please jump in here, please.
Black Dynamite couldn't become Batman. He ain't got no money, and he's an orphan too.
You're fired.
Actually, I got him on that.
He's got you there.
Great job.
No, you're fired. Black Diamond don't wear no mask.
He doesn't need a mask.
Black Diamond don't need a mask.
I mean, no, the Batman from the comics, yeah, but the Zack Snyder Batman.
Well, the Zack Snyder Batman is an ass. Which again makes me hate it even more.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought Batfleck was okay in BVS, but then that one line made me hate Batfleck.
We know what didn't make you hate Batfleck?
I thought that was stupid.
No,
I said he was okay. I didn't say he was awesome. I said he was okay. I mean, Wonder Woman was the real MVP of that movie.
Oh, damn right. Yeah. That's why I'm going.
But you know why? You know why they did it, right? You know why they do that line out?
What?
Because it's the Robert Downey Jr. line, dude. It's like it's the.
No, okay. Here's the difference. Okay, here's the difference with Robert Downey Jr.
I'm not saying. I'm saying they were trying to do that. I'm not saying they did it successfully.
No, they were not Carrie Strug. They did not stick the landing.
Yeah.
They broke the other ankle, fell on their face, went friggin' head over tea kettle, ass over tea kettle, and friggin' crashed into the fucking pommel horse. That's what they did with this line. Cause with the RDJ line, like I'm ashamed that I've forgotten. Like, cause he says the four things, like I'm a billionaire,
playboy, philanthropist,
genius, or like, something like. Wow, I have fumbled it completely. But yeah, when Tony Stark does it, it's because he's the world's greatest asshole. Yeah. Batman is the world's greatest detective.
Yeah.
Yeah, he detected his way into billions of fucking dollars, which allowed him to creep around the shadows of fucking Gotham City, not get arrested. Like, everybody knows who the Batman is, the police. He's obviously got the police on the payroll because he's been getting away with beating the shit out of people for decades.
Did you read Batman Incorporated?
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
That's true.
Look, if I was rich, I would be beating the shit out of people too. Why? Because I'm rich, bitch. That's
I too would have done that because at the end of a Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, when they become rich, they go find all the people who talk shit about them and find them and beat the shit out of them.
Which is what.
How many people want to kick some ass?
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer, it was just there's so many things. I mean, that was the thing that hurt me the most. And like as I kept replaying it in my head, is like, I'm rich. I'm like, no, Batman is not just rich. Batman is motivated. by tragedy. Batman is motivated by justice. Batman wants no one else to suffer what he has suffered. It's not just like, oh, I'm rich. That's okay. Here, this is you telling me that Donald Trump could be Batman. Oh wait, he can't be because he's not rich.
He can be.
There's your political commentary for the whole year. That was for you, Sam Zia. I love you.
Be, but his hands are too small to allow him to be Batman. But he has the money to get bigger hands, so then he can fight
He
crime.
doesn't. He's like legitimately bankrupt.
Can you imagine how many pussies he could grab if he had bigger hands?
Good God.
Sam's thinking about it.
Sam is doing the math over there as how many.
I'm about to get another point, is what I'm saying.
Clearly, he favors you.
All right.
But yeah, Aquaman was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's freaking Khal Drogo. He's amazing.
He's gonna have in that travesty of a movie that's coming out in November.
He's gonna be the Wonder Woman of that movie. The way Wonder Woman was the MVP of Batman Superman, Aquaman of all people is gonna be the MVP of Justice League.
And he'll have more screen time than he did in the entirety of Game of Thrones.
That's true.
And more lines.
Yeah. Because he physically looks like he's having fun.
Yeah.
Like, just that was...
I think he's the only one who looks like he's having fun.
Yeah.
And Gal Gadot.
Yeah, well, naturally, yes. Okay, we've already established that Wonder Woman is amazing. Like, I remember going into BVS and like the model from Fast and the Furious. How could she be freaking? I thought she was cool in Fast and the Furious, but like, how could she be Wonder Woman? Proven wrong.
Yeah.
I was utterly and completely proven wrong.
conceded.
All of us were proven wrong that Gal Gadot fucking delivered and was fucking.
I mean, right from the first scene when she like deflects the heat vision with the the bracelets.
Yeah.
Like, boom, boom, boom,
You're like,
boom,
holy
boom.
shit.
She has like the best fucking soundtrack out of anyone. Good God. But that trailer is just. And then I saw people on the internet were like saying like they're trying to turn Cyborg into Iron Man.
Yeah.
He does the whole little Iron Man thing like where he covers his face, just like Iron Man.
What does Tony Stark have the market cornered on?
No, it's just it's the implication that's like, oh look, they're trying to make him seem like, hey, he's the Iron Man of the team. No, he's Cyborg.
That's ignorance.
But see, that's the
Well,
thing.
yeah, I said I got it from the internet. Of course, it's ignorance.
Point Cervantes?
Of course, it's ignorance.
But that's the whole thing too, because like, is he really a cyborg? It looks like he's got like a chunk of face left, and that's it.
I know. Well, they really can't do 80s Cyborg. Where
Oh,
like,
no, I'm not saying 80 cyborg, but I'm just saying
he's like half man, half robot.
He looks like
he's like 10%
like-
man,
Yeah.
90% robot.
They could do anything with enough green screen and Bruce Wayne money. And that movie's going to make $1 billion. And you mean to tell me they couldn't make Cyborg look different than fucking Megatron?
He does kind of like
Cyborg looks like. Oh, I didn't realize that. Cyborg does look like Megatron.
The Flash looks like Megatron. Like, whose bright idea was it who says, you know what, we need angles? Angles went out in the fucking 90s, man.
We need the designer from Transformers.
Yeah.
Michael Bay, who's your guy?
That guy should never be allowed around a camera either.
Michael Bay?
Yeah, you take Viewmasters away from me.
Did you see someone posted a picture of the Flash standing next to the recent Power Ranger? They look almost exactly alike. Yeah.
Oh God, you know what? I'm happy that I'm not a Power Rangers fan because that movie doesn't. I mean, it didn't look good. Our friend of the show, Lamar Harris, said it was fine, but.
He said it was good, not great.
Good, not great. I mean, but I guess maybe he's a Power Ranger. He's younger than us, so that was his generation.
For me, I think I was like, well, both of us were about the same age.
We're the same age.
3-4 years behind or ahead.
I remember.
Ahead of it.
I remember making fun of it all the time.
Same here.
I remember I was working at the comic book store and I was ashamed that my boss kept running to Toys R Us and buying the figures and turning around like he'd buy them for like $6 and we turn around and sell them for $25. And
you ain't no Voltron.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't no Voltron. Damn straight. Damn rip-off Voltron wannabe mother.
Damn right.
But although even though I am talking shit about the Justice League trailer,
we're gonna go see it.
We're gonna go see it. Much like when I was hate watching Walking Dead, I have to justify my hate.
Fuck that show.
Because I don't want to be a person on the internet that's like, oh, I didn't watch it, but I hate it.
But is there a little bit in the back of your head that hope that it might be good?
I mean, I hope it's like because when you and I and our group of nerd friends, we went to go watch BVS.
Yeah.
We did nerd out a few times.
Oh, yeah.
When cool nerd things happened, We nerded out.
Yeah.
But it didn't outweigh and then I said the final fight of that movie was actually fine.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a live action Dragon Ball.
It was live action Dragon Ball. We've achieved what Matrix Revolutions attempted. The live action Dragon Ball.
You know what's funny? It's like I think both those movies I had that same moment. And like in Man of Steel, when he kills Zod, I remember like, is he gonna do this? And then I was like, oh really? And then in BVS, when they kill Superman, I'm like, did they really just do that? Like, you know, so what's going to be the ending?
What's going to be this movie? Like, and Tabitha Sheehan on Facebook Live asked, wasn't there a live-action Dragon Ball? No. We don't acknowledge the existence of that.
I don't know. There's Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball Abridged.
Like, I heard there was some sort of thing where that made Akira Toriyama very unhappy. It almost made him quit.
Yeah, that was Dragon Ball GT.
Oh, freaking, and dropping hammers over there on Dragon Ball GT over there.
Are we out of Zack Snyder?
All right, okay.
Are we out of that segment? Can we go out of Zack Snyder vision?
Much like a good Catholic, we're going to pull out of that segment.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to pull out of that so we can turn the lights back on. I guess maybe that'll be the thing. Anytime we talk about Zack Snyder, we're going to kill the lights because we need everything to be gray. For those of you listening in audio, facebook.com/DreGP podcast if you want to watch this at some future point.
Which you totally should.
Because you get to see my ridiculous face make ridiculous expressions. So, all right, we've reached the main... Oh, wait, nope. Well, see, I talked about this in the pre-show. This week in Uber is our transition right here. So, this past week, I actually didn't drive that much for Uber, but this past Saturday, I went to a wedding. A couple of friends of mine, Brian and Kat, got wedding. They had a lovely wedding, and because they had an open bar, I decided to take I took an Uber out there, and that Uber was fine, and there was no problems on there. But it was the Uber on the way home. Therein lies where I have found our This Week in Uber. So I logically got the hell out of there at midnight. I called an Uber pool. And this nice lady, I forgot her name. She gave me her business card to give you the start off of this, how this goes. Like, she had just started driving Uber about a month. Because as we were pulling out, because when you pick up somebody, you have to click on the phone where it says start trip. And we're pulling out, and I'm sitting back there. I'm like, you should start the trip. You probably should start the trip. If you want to get paid for my trip, you probably should start the trip. And she said, what do you mean? I'm like, the red button. Are you on the phone? You probably should get that. I said, oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah, that would have been bad if you didn't get paid for this. Yeah. You would have lost out a whole good $11. It's like, how do you know so much? I'm also a driver. I'm like, yeah. And
I wonder if she actually hasn't ever pushed that button before and was driving around not collecting money.
You know? Well, she had to have pushed some buttons because she picked my ass up. She found me. But, thank you guys. I literally did that one on purpose. We're driving, and I'm explaining to her, I'm telling her, talking all about Uber, and I'm trying to explain to her how to be a good Uber driver. And then there was another dude on the Uber pool, because I went with the Uber pool because I wasn't going to pay $25 to go home. Fuck that. And this other dude just kept interjecting and weird stuff. But the fun part didn't happen until we drop off the other dude, and she's driving me home. And then she starts explaining to me, this isn't her job. You know, she does this part-time. She just started doing it for extra money and to also help her other job. I'm like, help your other job? What do you mean? I'm like, she's like, what do you do? I'm like, I drive for Uber and I do other odds and ends to, I'm on that hustle trying to make sure my bills get paid. She's like, if you join my group, the World Financial Group. I was like, I've heard this before. She's a part of a pyramid scheme. I want to play stupid. Go on. Tell me about this wonderful opportunity.
Wow.
She's a pyramid schemer. The World Financial Group, which I've heard this pitch several times before in my life. And she's explaining the whole thing to me. Like, we're not like the other World Financial Group offices that are much more aggressive. Like, really? What do you do? We sell insurance. You don't say. And it was so funny. She had other rides to pick up, and she was ignoring them to take the time to explain to me her entire pyramid scheme. It was great. The fact I did not break character is a testament to my patience. Because I really wanted to laugh really hard and go like, you're dumb! You ain't gonna make no money! I didn't want to be mean. This poor woman's driving Uber. Yeah, you're doing really well, World Financial Group, if you have to drive Uber. if you have to moonlight as an Uber driver. Oh, we sell insurance. But yeah, the office I work at, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard about this. I heard there was another office that's like a cult. And she's like, oh, no, we're not like that. I operate out of the Palmdale office. That's probably when I'm like, oh, Santa Fe Springs? Slowly revealing that I know. I've heard this before. And she's like, oh, yeah, here's my card. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll call you and give you some Uber tips. I think that would probably be more effective for you than this.
You go to hell, Dave Chappelle. You go to hell and you die.
I was dying. I laughed all the way up to my front porch. That was great. This poor woman. I was like, aren't you gonna get those rides? You've missed on 3 rides right now. You're missing out on money. This is the real money. So that's my Uber story for this week. Oddly, from the rider perspective and not the driver perspective.
Oh, those are the best, though, man.
Those pyramids. I remember in the early 2000s, 2x2.net.
Yeah.
Do you have a story, Pete?
I had a guy come to the store trying to get me to join a pyramid scheme.
Really? He came to the shop?
And he came back like 2 or 3 times. And I was just like, no, I don't think so. And he just kept like, and then he started bringing me food. Like he would show up at McDonald's, and he's like, oh, it's in the neighborhood.
Dude, McDonald's was his hard sell?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. At least In and Out.
Yeah, right.
For fuck's sake.
Well, wait a minute. Let's not be hasty here. Those cafe things are pretty fucking good.
If you're gonna pitch me your pyramid scheme, you better show up with at least minimum animal style fucking doubles. Minimum.
I'm not against that.
Minimum.
And then in the very end though was he cornered me and was like, we have this event on Monday. I'm gonna come over and pick you up and take you to this event. And I was like, no, right? And he kept on like, no.
That's the way they do it. They trap you.
And he was like, no, it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. I'm like, all right. And he's like, what time do you get off? I'm like, oh, I get off at 8. I left way before that.
You're like pulling the parachute. Bye, Felicia.
And he never came back.
So wrong.
He's there at the store at 8. Hello, is it me you're looking for? His hands are up on the glass.
Open.
Where are you? You said you would be here. Like the one time I got bamboozled into going because a guy who is no longer my friend bamboozled me into one of those meetings because he didn't mention it was WFG. He just told me, "Oh, dude, this is something you could do while you're working for Nintendo. Drink." And so I show up, suit and tie, and I walk in, and I'm like, "Oh no." I know what this is. And they wouldn't let me out, and they were chanting. It was like a cult. It was terrifying, man. It was disturbing because they're like it was almost like Warriors. Can you dig it? And it was like, yes, we can. It's like, what is happening?
The more people you get, the more money you make.
The more money, and then the more money they get, the more people they get, the more money you make. Because you're at the top. You're at the top of their chain. You're at the front of their chain. They can't say top of the pyramid because people will catch on. Wait, this is a pyramid scheme. I remember they didn't want to let me leave. Or like they sat me down like, oh, you need to sign this paper. I'm like, no, I don't. You're not my supervisor. You're not the boss of me. I don't have to sign nothing. I can leave. I can get up and leave. I'm a free human being. No, you can't leave. I'm like, yes, I can. Bye. But you came. I'm like, and now I'm going. So ridiculous.
Why did you pass on this excellent opportunity?
Pass on this excellent opportunity.
You could have been rich and Batman now.
I could have been rich and Batman.
Point to Pete.
Point to Pete.
I think that's how they would have got you to join the pyramid scheme.
If they told me I'd be Batman. No, they would have got me if they told me I'd be Iron Man. It's more believable I could be Iron Man because I can get in a suit.
You just said you're a Luddite, though. Like, so, I mean,
I'd have Jarvis.
I guess, but
Jarvis would do everything for me.
I think you would get frustrated because you'd be like, I don't know how this works. Like,
no, Jarvis would tell me.
Okay.
Jarvis does everything for Tony.
Yeah, but Tony
I don't know.
Jarvis.
he made him when he was younger. Now as Tony gets older and his brain like deteriorates, he'll be fine. All I need is just my own Jarvis. That's what I need.
That's true.
All right, so let's talk about Dave. Let's talk about Dave Chappelle. So yeah, last week Netflix dropped those two specials. One in Los Angeles and one in Austin, Texas. I was really curious about that one.
Oh boy.
Because I was wondering how good old Dave would have gone over in the heart of Texas. But it is Austin, which is actually probably the most liberal town in Tejas. I've been wanting to visit.
Yeah.
I hear it's really awesome. But personally, all right, so the shows, I loved both of those. I'm saying Tabitha Sheehan on Facebook Live, also loved them as well. I was dying. It was hilarious. It was classic Dave. It's as if someone got a DeLorean, went back in time, brought Dave forward, and it's like he didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
He did not miss a beat in being freaking Dave. He hit everything. I mean, what did you guys think? I know, Pete, you only got to watch the first special?
Yeah. No, it was hilarious. Like, you was just like you said, it was classic Dave. Like it didn't change. Like it was like he hadn't done anything in so long.
He didn't hold back.
Yeah, no.
That's I think early on in the show he said, "Oh, you better toughen up because this is gonna be a rough one." All right, Jai, did you watch the specials?
And loved them both.
Oh, actually, Matt Hamblin on Facebook Live, like, was he in jail? He got buff.
Dude.
Like, Dave is thick, man. I don't wanna miss that, but Dave got like guns, man.
Hanging out with Carrot Top.
Man, like, because I remember Dave, like Undercover Brother, Half Baked,
Yeah.
I'm skinny Dave Chappelle. I'm the skinniest of Skinny Prince.
Not Batman Dave Chappelle.
Not Batman. This was Batman Dave. He was just like in the first special he was wearing the jacket, so he was kind of covering up. In the second special it was like dun dun dun.
And even in the credits, dude, he's walking around with no sleeves. Fuck that. I'm gonna go buy those creatine drinks or whatever the fuck that he was drinking.
You want to get buff like you obviously, but Dave's in his late 40s. You got time.
Yeah.
You got time. You can hit that.
Dude, he's our age.
Is he?
Dude, he's 43.
He's your age.
He's not even my age.
I'm 37 in a row.
So that's what he was doing for 10 years. Yeah.
He was in Ohio taking care of his Filipino family.
Plowing the field, metaphorically
and literally. So I'm sorry, I cut you off because I wanted to make sure we talked about
his guns.
His guns. But what did you think about as an aspiring stand-up comedian? Tell us what you thought about the shows from an expert perspective, or somewhat expert perspective.
Definitely somewhat. It was weird because I had watched the Amy Schumer special, which was on par with the Greek tragedy, and
shots fired.
No, it's not just shots. I mean, people have been lobbing cannonballs at her because of that. It was so bad.
But originally, a lot of that hype was because of her stance on gun control. So everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they're taking our guns, 1 star, bitch!" And so originally, that's what it was. But no, it really was bad. It was a terrible, terrible show. As a comic, you're supposed to get 5 to 10 laughs a minute. So out of a 55-minute special, I should be laughing the entire fucking time. Out of a 55-minute special, and I laughed 11 times. That's 1 laugh for every 5 minutes. How much did she get paid? Because that bitch robbed motherfuckers.
Wow. Like, I haven't had a chance to watch it myself.
Don't watch Ali Wong Black Cobra again.
Yeah. Oh, Ali Wong. Oh, Baby Cobra. Oh, jeez. I remember that was like, high recommendation. I remember I watched that. I had listened to her on the WTF podcast because it kept coming up on my Netflix. I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but I wouldn't watch it. And I listened to her on WTF, and I'm like, holy shit, this woman is hilarious. Immediately went home, fired up Netflix, watched the special, died laughing. My face was hurting.
Now, conversely, speaking of people who overpaid, Dave hooked you the moment he said, wait a minute, none of you motherfuckers are getting your money back. On the floor, dead, and the show just got better from there. Yeah, because
I love the frankness where it's like, okay, well, people said I got booed out of the building. No, I was booed, and I stayed.
It's like Evil Knievel.
You know, like Evil Knievel.
Paid whether I make the jump or not.
Yeah.
People said I was drunk. I wasn't. I was high.
I smoked weed with some rappers. Now, I don't know if you've ever smoked weed with rappers, but they have good weed.
They have good weed. 2 puffs and woo. He hit the ground running. He was both specials.
Both specials were great, which is also weird because the special he did in Texas, you would think would not go over well with Texas being a very conservative state, because Bill Burr's special that he did in Nashville, another conservative state, did not go over as well as I think it should have.
But that's, like as Dre was talking about,
Austin is liberal. Austin is liberal. Austin.
Nashville is still Nashville.
And because of that, I think that maybe Bill should have taken that material to a more liberal state. But going back to Dave Chappelle, that is what comedians aspire to be. When I heard Chris Rock say that he and Kevin Hart were watching Dave do a show, and the both of them looked at each other like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, he made them seem amateurish. And this is Chris Rock.
Did you see what happened last night?
No.
Apparently.
Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle did a 90-minute set together.
Together.
I saw a picture. He posted that picture on Twitter, but I didn't know that they did a set.
Yeah.
They did
That's
a
like
set.
God and Jesus coming down and saying, here you niggas go. This is what real comedy is supposed to be. And then just walking away. Like, what do you do after that?
Really, seriously. It's part of Chris Rock. He's having a tour, isn't he?
Oh, really?
He's having a tour because he's got to deal with Netflix also.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Rock?
He's supposed to have 2 shows.
I hope that show last night was taped. I doubt that it was, but
I think somebody got some footage of it.
But I'd like to see the show. I would pay extra money to Netflix. I'm like, did Netflix record that? I would pay you for that.
I have 2 kids. You could have either one of them for me to see that show.
No kidding.
Take the little one. She's a handful.
Both of them.
But there was some controversy that came about from some of the audience. We're sitting here like it's like we're kind of ball-washing Dave Chappelle.
We loved it,
There's
but
some people that were a little bit.
there was a lot of negativity coming back towards Dave, and I feel like and Jai and I we frequently discuss comedy since he's doing a stand-up. He keeps telling me that I need to be a writer and or possibly a stand-up.
He really does.
I'm not as confident. But then again, I'm not a very confident person.
Which is why you just write. Just write jokes for other motherfuckers and let them bring your insanity.
I have joke doctored you a lot, but we talk about comedy a lot, and then people came after Dave because they thought he was being homophobic, they thought he was being transphobic, they thought he was being sexist, and again, like I mentioned last week, I don't know if it's because I'm ignorant or something, but I watched those shows and I didn't think any of those things. I don't know. It's because
I could see where it would trigger a lot of people that, I work really closely with the LGBT community. So
yes, you do.
I can see where a lot of the issues would come from. But it's Dave Chappelle. You know what you're getting into. It's not like he's saying it personally to be harmful.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
The transgender line was fucking hilarious.
Is he okay? You just mean she? I'm like, all right. Does she need me to call 911?
Yeah, Miss Bruce. On the floor.
Yeah, it was funny. At the same time, there's a lot of people within the community that are not going to be happy about it, and a lot of people weren't happy about it and were willing to just say, oh, well, it's Dave Chappelle, and then move on to the next joke.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people who, and I don't want to consider it so much outrage culture, because outrage culture is a very prevalent thing right now. It's more of a personal, like, ooh, that struck me a little bit hard. And it's hard to hold that against people because they have personal experience that leads them to that.
But see, I get a little, I shouldn't say annoyed, but like, you have to understand, like, Dave isn't just some hack. Yeah. Dave is, like, I kind of, like, was annoyed because Dave is one of the smartest stand-ups out there, like, period. He doesn't just go up there. Everything he goes up there with is with a purpose. I was telling my roommate the other day, like, that entire special is built. It's like it's an entire structure. He puts it together. He isn't like he goes up there and makes it seem like he's saying funny stuff, and he drops his head when he's laughing because he's letting the room take in the joke, and he's getting ready to move on to the next one. Everything. He's not just up there saying outrageous things. Like when he was talking about the gay stuff, where he's like, oh, we Brown versus the Board of Education was in 1955. And I was called an N-word last week. It's like, I think
it takes time.
This shit takes time. Where gays thought it was like, oh, they took offense to like, some of the articles I was reading online. They took offense to like, oh, we can't tell us when we can get our rights. Like, no, you get.
See, that's people just being
That's outrage. That's the kind of stuff I was seeing that like on Vulture or on friggin' what was it? I forgot one of the other sites I saw there. People was like, oh, like you're not listening to what he's like, you're hearing what he's saying, but you're not listening to what he's saying. He's like, people's rights. We all want you to get your rights, but you're gonna have to fight for them. As my black correspondent, Jai Polidore, can confirm, is like, yeah, that stuff was passed 55, more than 50, 60, 70 years ago. I can't do math, clearly. Everyone, yes. Before the Corrections and Corrections Department comes out, I can't do math.
And I'm even worse. But here's the thing. With people who are outraged at what Dave is saying, you're exactly right, they're not hearing him. Because they're so wrapped up in their own problems, they're not looking at it as, hey, Dave is actually saying, hey, you dumb son of a bitch, I'm admitting that you have problems. But as a person who's going through the same fucking shit that you are, this is what you have to look forward to. Pull your head out of your ass and accept the fact that the fight that you're in, you are Sisyphus. You're rolling a fucking boulder uphill, and not only that, that shit's gonna get bigger the closer to the top of the hill you get. And if whatever community, I don't give a flying fuck which community it is, every community who is offended by anything Dave or any other comedian ever says needs to pull their head out of their ass, because that is an uphill fight. The LGBTQ community, the black community, the Mexican community, the Asian community, pick a fucking neighborhood, we've all got our fights. But the closer you get to the top, the harder it's gonna be. Yeah. Why? Because the people in power are like, it's just like a fucking video game, dude. It doesn't get easier the closer you get to the end.
It gets harder.
The last boss is like, holy shit, I didn't think he'd get this far. Get him! And they send everything they have. And that's what the people at the top of the hill are doing. We didn't think he'd get this far. Zerg rush, and they send everything. And that's the point where I feel like that, like this is not a battle that needs to be fought. It's not.
That's the big problem right now, and there are people who don't know which battles are worth fighting. You don't fight the battle against the comedians; you fight it against the politicians.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The ones who say it, like Dave, is making light of it to make us. I would dare say, as you were saying, comedy is to make light of things that we don't want.
We're all thinking.
That's what comedy is. Go ahead. Please, you said it better than I did in the pre-show.
The purpose of comedy is to say what we are all thinking. Okay? That's the whole purpose. And it goes back to the days of the king and the fool. Because, and I'm paraphrasing from what D.L. Hughley said, and this is where I got it from. The fool, everybody knew that the king was an asshole. Everybody knew that the king was power hungry, that he abused his power and whatnot. But who is the only person who could get away with saying it? The fool. The fool brought it to the king's attention, but he was able to craft it in such a way that he could make fun of the king. He could bring to light the things that were going on in society and say, look, this is what's going on. Look, this is what the people think of you. Why? Because this is how you are acting. And he, the fool, could get away with it. If some pauper said that shit, dude, it was Joffrey time and you'd fucking having your head cut off. Somebody else said that shit, I am the king, axe this motherfucker, and you were gone. But the fool, say that shit
and that's where I was getting kind of like, it was slightly frustrated, where it's like, okay, we finally get, in the first time in 10 years, Dave comes out of hiding after, he felt that Comedy Central, everyone around there was like, whoa, you're not laughing with me, you're laughing at me. Y'all racist, I'm out. And then we didn't have one of the smartest stand-ups. I dare say it. He's one of the smartest out there. Like you said, was it Chris Rock and who was the other one that you said?
Oh God, who was it? Chris Rock.
And someone else watching him. Like Kevin Hart. They're watching him and we're doing it wrong. Because every time Dave does comedy, he has a message in his head. Yeah. He's trying to get out. He is way smarter than he lets on that he is. And sometimes I feel like he's trying not to let people know, so people don't catch on that all this stuff that he's doing. He's talking about like people got mad at the whole Bill Cosby thing. And it's like he's like this was my hero, but he's a monster, and I have to And he has to somehow make peace with the fact that this guy who was an inspiration, who was prior to all this stuff being revealed, that oh wait, our hero is human too, or I'm sorry, he's worse than human. He's fucking awful.
Yeah.
It's like it's hard to make peace with it, and he totally did it.
And that was one of the greatest callbacks
Oh, yeah.
I have ever heard.
It was insane.
In my life. Like, how do you top... He rapes, but when he said he rapes, but he saves, and he went back to a bit that he did at the beginning of the show, and you're like...
And I think people get crossed up. And I love comedy to a point where I feel like I study it. And he wasn't trying to make light of people who are... He was exposing the fact it's like, my hero is a monster, and now I have to make peace with it.
Yep.
That he is awful. Like, he's mentioning it because, oh no, he's bringing it to light. No, he's not ignoring the fact that his hero did these awful things.
And he compared them throughout history to a bunch of other things of far greater importance. So while all of these things are going on, Bill Cosby raped 54 women.
Yeah.
And the way that line hit, because you're not even thinking, I mean, obviously the point of comedy is misdirection.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, yeah, that did suck when those 7 people, 5 of which were political leaders and civil rights leaders and fucking president, when those people were assassinated. That was a travesty.
Well, yeah. Well, to kind of save you some time, since we are rapidly running out of time,
Sorry.
and Jai, you do tend to over-explain.
My bad.
Yeah, it's like he's showing like again. It kind of goes back to the other point that I was trying to make. It's like we have to pick our battles.
Yeah.
And I think as a society, like especially with the internet and the ease of access of voices, we pick a lot of battles or we're fighting battles that maybe we're putting our energy in the wrong places. I mean, there are bad places. There are things that we should fight for, but I think sometimes a lot of energy is focused on the wrong goal. And like,
there's enough in the world right now to be outraged over, legitimately, that you don't need to go after Chappelle when he's literally just trying to ease. Like it's almost normalizing it. Before, people didn't make that many jokes about LGBT community. Maybe gay jokes, but they were always offensive and stuff. There wasn't much offense to any of these jokes. It wasn't like he was trying to be mean-spirited.
No, he wasn't.
Like he as an older straight black male, where like he had it's like that's something I don't know about these things.
When he said that he had the guy, he said, hard niggas in Harlem walk around like this or in high heels just to make sure that they don't get shot. Like, who comes up with that? Like, he's saying that black people have to sit here and act like one of the LGBTQ community just to make sure that they get home safe.
He's talking about things on a different level that people are than people can. I don't want to say that they can comprehend, but they're
People just want their voice.
They hear what they want to hear, and I think that inherently sometimes is the problem. That's the problem with comedy in general. Like someone who's trying to get out a message, people mishear the message.
Or they hear what they
or they hear what they want to hear, and they contextually take it where they think, like in this instance, they think Dave is slandering the community. Where no, he's bringing it up. He's showing like, oh look, here are the things. This is what we're dealing with in the real world. We can't ignore it. We can't just turn a blind eye to it. I mean, it sounds he's making fun of it, but I feel like more he's bringing it to light.
But if you think about it, look at the society that we live in today, where, to quote Eminem, fuck the words, you don't listen to them anyway. And have you listened to the music, the lyrics that are in most of the music that we listen to? I don't, because the music sucks. But the people who
I don't listen to modern music.
But the demographic that the music is catered to, is made for, they don't listen to the lyrics either.
No, they don't.
They're not listening to the lyrics. You're raising a bunch of people who, 1, can't critical think. 2, they're just going out, he said this, that guy's evil. And now all of a sudden, like I said, everybody just wants their voices heard. They don't want to fight the battle. They just want to be like, you said something mean about me, and I'm telling. They don't want to fix the problem. They just want to point and say, there's a problem.
Here's another another perspective on it. So many people have, and there has been so much to be outraged about, without a doubt, over the last 2 years, without question.
Easily.
And people have been in that mode where everything is so outrageous that they can't suspend it just to have a little fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like we have become our outrage.
Yeah.
Before, we used to not identify ourselves with our outrage. That was just something that we would occasionally, like, bring up if something was pissing us off. But now there are people whose entire identity is based off of their outrage.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's become kind of like this polar opposite, or a yin to the yang of the hate. Like, 'cause there's all these people who hate blindly, and now it's like the opposite spectrum of these people who are offended blindly. Like where like they have to react just as strongly as the people who hate. So you get those, the Trump rally people, and then the people attacking them, the anti-Trump people. It's like you have this conflagration of these two people who are like polar opposites, but they have more in common than they realize because their amount of hate that they have for each other. Like this strong hate. And I didn't mean to get so super serious and like, oh, we need more love and stuff, but it's just like people don't see. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just...
Unfortunately, this is Dre's Geek Philosophy, and sometimes we're going to get deeply philosophical in this shit when it affects us.
Well, there's psychology. I think people's brain chemistry has been adapted so much to being outraged constantly that it's almost like being depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. I find it very hard to be like, I only get outraged about nerd stuff.
Which is when I want to mic around you the most often.
So I only
I
get
can't believe this. Fucking Batman superpowers, he's rich. That's bullshit. I'm outraged.
I only get outraged at that kind of stuff. Like
After you're flipping tables.
that's when I flip a table at that to put a button on it and hey, bring it full circle. Oh my God! All right.
Before we go, I just want to point out that you said earlier that you were not a confident person into a camera that's on live on the internet.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I'm self-aware. I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm not as good as Dave, but I know what I'm doing.
Tell him to write. Just tell this motherfucker to write. That's all he needs to do. Tell him to do the podcast by day. He can do podcast by night and write by day.
Right. You just need me to write more jokes.
Dude, you
Period.
have no idea how funny you are, but you're like, dude, my shit sucks.
I hate myself. I hate my art. Where am I doing? I hate my art. I hate everything about me. I am a filled to the brim of hate. You can see my terrible art at SoCal Club on Instagram. Jai Polidore. We can find you on Twitter at Jai Rizard, Jairizard. He rarely tweets, but are you a lurker? Do you lurk on the tweets?
I lurk on the twits and the tweets, but when something cool comes up, I will definitely like and or comment. Say something cool.
All right. You can find Pete at nostalgic_comics. You can find excessively long executive producer Sam Z at SamZ570. Did I get it right this time? SamZ570. If you are listening to this on the audio version and you want to get in touch with our show, you can find us on Facebook. Facebook.com/DreGP Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at DreGP Podcast. You can watch us on Twitch if you want to see all my guests. And if you want to see Sam do the chicken dance. Chicken attack! Twitch.tv/DreGP Podcast. I shockingly have not been drinking. I feel like Mr. Sam at SamZ570 might have a little bit of the stickiest to the ick, Getting the shot here. This is what we do now. Everybody get in the shot. I'd love to thank you all. I know this was a very very strong episode of Dre's Geek Philosophy. The first half we're goofing off. The second half we got a semi sort of serious. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. Have a good one. Make sure to, if you're watching this, make sure you share. Share this on Facebook. Share this on Twitter. Share everything. Oh, good God. That is recorded on the internet. And we can't erase that. This is why I did the show. So we can put ridiculous things on the internet. This is Dre's Geek Philosophy. Thank you for listening and or watching. I love you guys. These are my friends. These are the closest friend. These are my closest friends in the world, and this is what we do. we're going in overtime here because I'm an emotional wreck. Thank you, everyone. This is why I do this every week, because it's ridiculous and we have a good time. Please share. Please like. If you're not already a liker, like the show or at least follow the show. And thanks. Help us out. Good night. That was like the worst close I've ever done. Oh, no. It was the best, worst close that we've ever done. Peace.